Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your first of two monthly readings for April, because we're going to be reading it according to the energies that are coming through Taurus, obviously in Taurus season, and then there'll be another one when we go into Gemini season, and it's going to be according to the Astroflower and the elements and the qualities in your petal and how they correspond to the energies and the elements and qualities of Taurus. So it's going to be a bit of a learning curve in the first bit, and then we'll have the tarot reading. I'll try and do a timestamp between the two. So if you just want to see the tarot reading, you'll have that at the end. But I think it will help you out enormously to understand how the elements are affecting the general sort of pathway, as it were. So yes, welcome to the Astroflower, and let's just get on with your reading. Let's have a look at your sign to start with. You're a cardinal water sign. But like Capricorn, you actually you're one of what we call the false element signs. So there is Gemini, Cancer, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. There's four of them. And there's actually more elements, as you can well see in your flower here. You've only got water, this cardinal water, which is at the top of your flower. And the sign for Cancer is obviously a crab, and the crab spends half its time in water and half its time out of water. There's certain crabs that spend even more time out of water. Those tree crabs, I think, in the Pacific, spend more time out of water than they do in water. And you'll notice within the rest of your flower here, there is no water whatsoever. And Capricorn is the same, but it's the opposite. Capricorn has a lot of water, has water at its base. That's why it's a goat and a fish. And then it has water running through it. But you have a lot of earth running through you and a lot of earth at your base as well. The other thing we should notice as well, this is you do have quite a lot of fire. It's running mainly on your financial side, but there is on the karmic path and the overall outcome of relationships, where you can see you have cardinal fire, which comes in from Aries, your fixed fire that comes in from Leo, and your fixed fire that comes in from Taurus, and your mutable fire that comes in from Gemini. Yes. That's where you have a lot of sort of fire as well. But you do also have a bit of air that runs through on your relationship side, cardinal air coming in from Libra, and also the mutable air that comes in from Gemini. So all of these elements sort of play together, and it helps us to filter through the information or our engagement in life in regards to our relationship side, which is this side here, or your financial side or your material life, which is here. And this is like your central point, your overall energies, as it were, within you, the essentials that is within you. And these two petals here, these are the karmic paths in a way, but they're related to your relationship side and your financial side. So you can see how your elements play out. So mainly on your relationship side, you've got quite a lot of sort of mutable that goes in with these two crosses here, but then that's where you have your cardinal at the bottom and your fixed at the top. So it's a stimulating with activities outside of the relationship, which really sort of stimulates you mentally in order to get, within relationships to maintain a good relationship, to be infused in a relationship. And then you like it, fixed and constant passions in life, not wavering, not changing from one thing to another too much. On your financial side, you get a lot of this earth on the outside and fire on your inside. So you have a lot of passions for things. And yes, you'd like to build a lot of things and make sure that they work at least, and be very concrete. So these passions that are pretty concrete because they're fixed, both here running through this X here. And then you have these concrete sort of real sort of solid earth energies that come through here. And this is what's coming out of you, the way you drive your passions into your physical life. To make it much more things that work, that are constant, that you're always building something, creating something, working on something within you mostly. But then you have that cardinal fire that's at the bottom there, and that mutable air, and it's inverted. It's sort of inverted here for the fix of the mutable at the top. Sorry. So you get this, the passion that drives your passion to succeed in life. It also comes out with your connection to everything that is around you. And this is where you are very willing to do mental gymnastics in order to get the thing over the line, as it were, with that mutable air that's at the top. And in the same thing, with respect to the mutables on this side here, the crossing point here, is that, your fires and your airs and how it stimulates you mentally, your passions on your karmic path, and also what physically comes out of it. You're willing to try a lot of things if it helps to sort of develop that sort of air, that sort of water at the top, that cardinal water, which is you. And this cardinal water, so for example, if you need fire needs earth at its base, like wood, and then it draws in the air and converts the air into water. And this is so everything you're doing here is trying to convert it into directional, sort of emotional, or, sort of energetic and spiritual sort of direction for you going forward. So it's everything you do inside produces something outside, as it were. And this is what sort of plays in with you. So that's your general sort of flower. Let's go into seeing what's happening when we combine it with the energies of Taurus. So the good thing about water and earth, when you mix water and earth, you can literally, obviously it depends on the levels. If you've got multitudes amount of water, you're going to have a swamp. If you've got too much earth, you're not going to have, it's going to be a bit of a desert. And so here, once you get the mix right at the moment, you end up with being able to plant seeds very nicely, and they should germinate. If you can see below you here, the crossing point here, you can see that you've got the cardinal fire comes in from Taurus, is backing you up here. So it's bringing in that fire, which is also the same fire which you find down here. So it's really encouraging that passion in life. You're engaging yourself with the passions in life and bringing them into you, and that's sort of like fueling that sort of intellectual, mental stimulation in life, because then you've got the mutable, but it's being very flexible at the moment, Cancer. And then you also have nicely backed up with this sort of fixed fire in this section here. The only sections where we may have sort of complications really is in this section here where you've got water and fire. It doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, because water and fire doesn't really mix, let's be honest. But at the same time, it can also produce, if you're going to have a cup of tea, you're going to want to mix fire and water. So there is times and in ways in which we approach energy and approach the elements and how we apply them in our life. And that's the same thing of your interaction with the universe here. But the rest of it runs really, really nicely together. There's the only other thing that I can foresee that might be a complication is in this part here, which is your connection to the universe regarding what's coming out of you for the your relationship side. And you have earth and air. So I think the outside world or the people around you will be consuming your time a little bit, which will force you to work a little bit more mentally and you should have a little bit more clarity. If you've got clarity and straight visions of what you want out of life, it will make your life a little bit easier. So overall, this is the crossing point between the overall outcome, how you engage with the world around you. It's very stimulating under the surface for you at the moment. Things that are going on in the background, there's a lot of possibilities. And it's how you, because it's just mutable air that's in this section here, it's how you play with your passions. So you've got fixed and you've got cardinal. Now, fixed and cardinals, although they may be next to each other in times, they tend to be pushing away from one another in a way. It can be confrontational sometimes. So you might have certain aspects of life that is confrontational in regards to, you'd like to go out to the theatre, but someone's saying to you, this is an opportunity to do a bit of work and stuff like that. And that's the conflict that may be within that sort of section there between the fires and what passions you more, basically. But if you're clear with yourself, I think it will work in any which way. But it is a very good combination between Cancer and Taurus. So there you go. This next 3 weeks, I would really concentrate on that bit there, and also concentrate on converting the past into the future in regards to your finances and your relationships, of building on your past to bring them into fruition in your coming future. Not necessarily right now, but certainly in the next few weeks after the end of Taurus. Let's just jump in here and see what's going on with your reading. Class is now over. Let's start the fun stuff. I was called like a geography teacher the other day by a good friend of mine. And, when I do my energy updates on Cymatic TV and stuff like that, because I get technical from time to time, I'm a Capricorn. And we're a little bit laborious sometimes. So, yes, class over. Let's get on with your reading. So, yes, let's have a look. We've got the overall energies here. We've got karmic message on your relationship side, karmic message on your financial side, influence from the universe, influence on your past self, influence on your future self, general sort of outcome. We will be combining with the elements and the qualities as we go through. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands. Now, you get this double earth down here, very concrete. You want direction, clear signs of a relationship that is going somewhere. That's karmically, that's what you'd like to see within your life. That's what's coming within you. You've got to play with a bit of the passions. I think you've got to bring the passionate thing that's in you to connect it to the outside, to bring it in. And I think this is what this is doing for you. It's also doing that on your, it's playing a little bit with that complication on your financial sort of side as well, because when you get fire and air, that does fire and water, that does sort of clear things out, make things a lot clearer. If it's not working, it's going to be very clear that it's not working. And I think all of this information is going to help to fuel all of that air and fire, which is at the top of that petal there. It'll give you a lot more clarity of how you play and with your mental energies, your intuition and stuff like that. And there's a lot of information that's coming in from the energy that is generally around you. On your karmic path, on your relationship side, Queen of Cups. Absolutely beautiful card here. You've got the double fire, double earth. This is that burning embers to experience life. And I think here, your karmic message is to just allow you, let go. Let go and allow yourself to just kind of go, oh yeah, it's okay. I'm just going to, whatever. I'm just going to laugh and enjoy. I don't, it's okay. It's like the crab is just gripping a little bit, sometimes a little bit too much to the rocks. That's what could be happening in a negative sort of sense. And here I think you need to sort of you just let go of the rocks and you'll find yourself quite happily out of all the complications of the heavy waves at the top of the surface. So I think this is where it's on your karmic mission this next few weeks, is to allow your emotions on what you wish to experience to come to the surface and literally allow it to come out. It doesn't necessarily have to come out by communication. It can do, but it can just come out by just looking, going out for a walk, looking up, seeing a bird doing something and laugh and coming, and that bird's stupid, and allowing that to overflow into the people that are around you, I think will be very beneficial. It will open up a great opportunity, for you going forward. From the universe here, we get the fire and the earth on this side, and the fire and the air and the earth on the inside. Yeah, this is where that mental thing that I was telling you about, between the combination between the earth and the air, as people are demanding upon you. I'd be very wary about just making too many promises that you can't keep, that sort of thing. Being really selective about the time, the real time and space you give your cherished ones around you. You know, sometimes you may well love them, but it may not be the moment to sort of like give all your time away to that person. You know, it doesn't mean that you don't love them anymore. It just means, you know, it's just not the moment. And you've got to be selective. You can't feed the world. Wasn't there that song? Feed the world. Oh no, don't let them know it's Christmas. Wow. You know, anyway, back to the reading. Yes, so what's going on from the past to the future, connecting the past to the future, and this is where, this is the water, this is this cardinal, this is what you're trying to produce here at the moment. Coming out the bottom of that earth and that double fire and that earth and air, stimulating things. I think this is when, once you do start doing that, I think you're going to realize the things you've done in the past that are worth keeping. And this is a great offering of a beautiful, pure emotion for you from your past. So it's like a dawning moment, kind of going, oh, do you know what? I remember that connection with that other person, or doing that activity, or getting memories coming back that's helping to stimulate this sort of realization, like a post realization of, oh, there was my offer of connection, of love and enjoyment and everything like that. And it's connecting that past to the future. As I said, I think that's going to be really important for you. And in your future, you get the Ten of Pentacles. Obviously, you have everything at your disposal if you are conscious about where you're putting all your energy, your time, your money, your emotions, everything into your life. You're going to realize that you've got enough for you. You've got enough for those cherished ones around you that you want to interact with. And it does bode well for abundance. It's going to produce abundance. When you start concentrating those things, you're going to get a better yield out of what you put into life. And then that's going to help to grow what you can put in. And that's like, becomes exponential in a certain degree for a certain amount of time, because the world is made up of ebbs and flows, ups and downs. But I think this is going to make it very, very clear for you going forward. And general outcome here, and this is how you convert this fire and this air together to get that earth and water being very productive and fertile in your life. It's very sociable. Going on a mission, which is it's all to do with the fire here that's coming through. Look at the Eight of Wands there as well. You got the cups down here, and that plays well with that water earth combination that goes out there. Which is combined, because that's what you've got here, water and earth going on with the pentacles and that's where the fire is. The fire's at the top. It shows it in the Astroflower. You know, once you start combining these things together, it becomes incredibly an eye-opener of what you can achieve in life when you approach things in a really beautiful way. And going on this passionate mission is not just going on it willy-nilly. There is a real learning curve. It's almost like, what's the people who turn lead into gold? Thank you very much. I know a lot of you just told me alchemist. Yes, it's like an alchemist movement that you're going on here. Really beautiful. The one thing it is lacking is that air. And I think this air stimulation, or this mental side of it, is because there's a lot of flexibility within your relationships around you. The wind will blow according to how you apply yourself and in your life. And the moment you start doing that, that's when you're going to really secure a beautiful connection with other people. And it could be with one other person if you've got, that's what you're concentrating on. We're all living different lives, really. But this is the Astroflowers to help you to sort of how you engage with the energies that are around you to get the best out of them. Because when you do, everybody's in a really good way. So yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Let's just see what's going on your financial side. Seven of Swords. Water and fire on that side. As I said, I think it can be very conflictual. You've got the fire and earth on that side there. I think you're deciding how much you put into life in regards to finances. It's like you're not sort of, it doesn't seem like you're scrabbling around. You may not have any money, but it doesn't mean like you're running after it. It's almost as if like you're being very selective about how you do things. And I think that's one your karmic path, a good thing to do. And that contradiction between the water and the fire, which we get down on this side here, is going to make you a lot more wiser of how you approach complicated situations, which we all have within the material world, within jobs, businesses, and projects. Three of Cups, we get the same situation going on here, exactly the same situation. There's different. The thing that changes in this petal here fundamentally is the qualities, and we're now into that conflictual sort of thing of cardinal and fixed energies. But once these two do come together, it can be like a firework display. We could say, oh, fireworks can be really dangerous, but they're also really beautiful to look at. And this is, the universe here is encouraging you to sort of enjoy the fireworks of life, and the fireworks of life of sort of seeing how it works in a business, seeing how it works in your job or your career path, and getting into sort of, I get this sort of thing where you're sort of, the celebration is going to come out of life when you start pushing the boundaries of the world around you. So if you're encouraging the best in others, this is where you're really sort of, that's the conflict, it's the pushing, and it's the celebration at the same time, sort of saying to others, wow, look what you've done and everything like that, because it's going to make your life easier. Imagine if you started helping a lot of your colleagues to do better within their workspace. You're probably going to get earmarked for promotion to manager, or that sort of thing. So you can you can apply that sort of approach to whatever is interesting you at the moment in the material world, and that's what the universe is bringing you. Yeah, you have. It's been changing quick. I think there's a lot of things that's been going on in your life at the moment. Over on this side here, you get the similar sort of situation, but this time it's inverted. You get the fire and earth on one side now on the inner part of you, and I think you've been really concentrating on yourself more than anything else. And then on the outer part, this is where you get the water and the air, the water and the fire together, and this makes this fast-moving energy. It really does really pushes the boundaries, and this is where it's pushing on that water and that earth above you to get results. And I think this is what you've been doing in the past. I think you've been doing a lot, moving a lot of things quickly, moving progressively along the pathway of your career path, of your business, or whatever it is. And you're really pushing those boundaries and looking for the results. And I think they're coming. It looks like it's probably going to come out in this section here. That's what I think. But I think this is also going to be very telling for the future. King of Cups, absolutely brilliant. Very much a Cancer card for me, because he's got, I don't know if you can see, he's got one toe in the water, and the throne is out of the water, but he's surrounded by water as well. He's at home in water, and that's what the crab does there for me. You get the same thing on the Queen of Cups, but the King of Cups is looking straight ahead. So you're looking at results. You're looking at trying to get those seeds germinated in your life. And I think you're feeling in the future, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable about this position. You're going to feel that things are actually progressing in your pathway as it goes forward. And in Gemini, there will be some trying times because, in the ups and downs of life, there will be some trying times. And I think this King of Cups is actually going to serve you even more as we go forward in the next 4 or 5 weeks. But what's the general outcome for these 3 weeks? High Priestess. Using your intuition. This is that mental energy, that mutable air that's flowing all underneath you at the moment here, and using that side of you, that intuitive, clairvoyant side of you that everybody has a touch of. But I think Cancer, you're pretty good at that sort of thing. And I think that intuition there is really going to start paying off for you. I think you're going to see some results of almost this sort of side of things, of where you've been pushing the boundaries. I think you can now sort of vaguely see the benefit and the results coming through. It's certainly the benefits are coming through in the way of these next sort of 3 weeks of understanding and increasing your level of intelligence of the moment. So it's not intelligence internal, it's like wisdom. It's not like universal wisdom. It's wisdom about yourself. That's what I mean by intelligence more than anything else. Yeah, it's more sort of wisdom of how you engage in life. And getting those keys there are going to really help you out. Let's just see what's going on the clarification. We've got the Four of Pentacles again, and I think this is the message that really does come through enormously. When you get that a little bit on that sort of aspect of the Seven of Swords here, being very intelligent about how you spend your money, be very wise about that. And that's what that wisdom of you and how you do it. And I think you're getting a lot of communication about that around you in the immediate around surroundings. And it could be coincidences, it could be nature itself, it could be other people. But this communication sort of thing is really giving you a heads up more than anything else. But that with the Queen of Cups, you get the High Priestess. Twice you get the High Priestess, twice you get the Four of Pentacles. It's a doubling up all over the place. Use your intuition. This is it. That's what I'm saying in your karmic messages, to allow the energy to come through, allow that happiness to overflow within your body. And I think you can use that, when you feel it sort of like arriving in, don't hold it back. More than anything else, just open the doors and go, yes, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to enjoy myself. I think it's incredibly important. Incredibly important. A great learning curve for you here. An experience as well. Yeah, I think this is it. The universe is sort of saying, if you do, we've already seen that with the Four of Pentacles. If you do become, wiser about how you spend your emotions, this is when you increase your quality, and then increases your possibility of receiving an offering of love, of communication, or loving communication, or even, taking time with people that sort of is good for you. But also you could be offering up that sort of love. You could be communicating that love. I think it flows both ways, because you're now streamlining things and getting a lot more quality in your interaction with the people that are around you, rather than trying to satisfy the entire world. With the Ace of Cups, yeah, this is where you're realizing that good stuff. And the thing is, as it's looking back in the past and seeing what tickles your fancy, there's a great story about that. What's that tickle your fancy? Anyway, what tickles your fancy is going to be kind of going, wow, should I try it? Should I try and re-provoke that? To re-provoke that overflowing cup of joy, which is also what we see in the Queen of Cups, connecting with the past, and actually this time around kind of sort of saying, do you know what, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to try, and try and apply it in my life. And that is a bit of a leap of faith. It is a bit of a leap of faith. And once you start doing this in the future, what I'm getting here, so you get these abundance here because you're being a lot more conscious about where you're putting your time, money, effort, energy, love, emotions, and so forth. You're getting this abundance that is within you, and it's going to shine a light on things which is all to do with that High Priestess, because look how many moons she's got on there. I think you're starting to realize I think there's going to be a few surprises in how good it works for you, this approach, and how you recognize and allow certain emotions to come to the surface that were hidden in the past, because that's what you're learning to implement within your life with that quality rather than quantity scenario. And I almost feel like there's, you know, there's, it sounds like there's someone, because you're coming together with yourself, it sounds like there's someone coming forth uh, within your world in the future, that it's a bit of a surprise, kind of like someone sort of saying, you know, I've got these feelings for you and what have you, and you kind of go, right, I, you know, yeah, you know, that sort of thing. Knight of Wands with the Knight of, sorry, hang on a second, Knight of Wands with the King of Swords. That is that judgment. I think it's this judgment. The reason that you going on a passionate mission of discovery about yourself, and it's, you know, it doesn't mean you have to sort of like go traveling for the next 3 weeks. It's just like engaging in life in a certain way, in a passionate way, which is going to allow you to come to certain judgments about yourself, about others, about love, about happiness, all of that sort of thing, which is going to make you feel a lot wiser, a lot lighter. And it's almost as like it's like you're rising above the situation and no longer having the situation just laboring around your feet. It's now you're taking to the skies a little bit, and it's really quite nice. Absolutely, I think it makes you feel a lot lighter, a lot happier about life. Then, therefore, things get a lot easier to do. It gets a lot easier to communicate with people, to explore avenues of your passions, and you know, your emotions, and so forth, and your relationship side. Absolutely amazing. Let's just see what's going on on your financial side. This wisdom comes out in passion again. You've got that fire that's coming through, and also you've got that air that's coming through, the water with the earth. There's a lot of water in this sort of side. There is a bit of air in there, but there's this earth and water there. And now we're sort of seeing here is you've got that fire and air. It's everything you don't have on your karmic path here. And maybe it's a case here with this wisdom of how you engage in life on your financial career, your business, and your project. It's because you're engaging in it with a very mental approach and being wise about how you engage in life. This is going to make you a lot stronger and help you to really be clear about your pathway. And it almost takes out the conflict within this karmic path. Once you start doing that, once you start playing wisely, you become a lot more confident about yourself and a lot more. And it's within your karmic path to do that. And that's how you can convert that wisdom into really, really beautiful stuff. That pushing of boundaries that we talked about with the Three of Cups, the Three of Cups, looking at the sky and, you know, the fireworks, as it were. This is where you bring back the abundance. You also reveal to you, and this is what the universe is trying to reveal to you, that actually what's it called, networking, in, you know, connecting with other people in a very joyous sense, in a very emotional sense, with other people that are around you, allows you to see the abundance and the depth that you can possibly have within your life. And it will help you to reveal a lot about the world around you and how to get the abundance out of these beautiful relationships that you can create through your passions and through being very clear about your pathway. It will breed abundance to you. The Chariot, yeah, I think, as I said, I think you've been doing a lot of work, things that have been really sort of moving on quite quickly. You've been very, very busy, and you've learned a lot. And you're learning, that learning is now being converted into that wisdom, so you can actually plant that seed, and things that you planted in the past is coming through that information, coming through that realization of not giving everything away, will allow you to observe the medium to longer term plans to see how they're working in your life. And that's what's helping to contribute to that playing smarter aspect of your karmic path. On the King of Cups, you get the Five of Pentacles. As I said, you're not going after, I'm not sure whether I said it on this one or that card there, and I was talking about converting the past into the future. Seems to be important. I think in the future, you're feeling very comfortable about where you are, who you are, what you do, and everything like that. And this is, and as I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're running after money. It's not as if it doesn't necessarily mean you've got money as well. It just means that you're being very selective about how you gain your life in the material world. And this, I think, is going to sort of change your financial situation, that you're no longer out in the cold because you're no longer concentrating on your weaknesses, and now you're concentrating on your strengths. And in the future, you've taken that key, which is just behind her, taken that key, you've opened that door, and that's what's going to bring you onto much more calmer shores, as it were. Let's just see what's going on with the High Priestess. Cool. Death and rebirth. Yeah, totally. I think what you're discovering, and this is what brings in that sort of calm, balanced sensation about life. What you're learning is that intuition of how to actually apply it all. And this next 3 weeks is that changing of learning to interaction. And that's what you appear to be doing on your financial side. It's out with the old and in with the new. It's death and rebirth. Whole new direction that you're going in. Absolutely amazing. Really good. I'm loving these readings. I don't know about you. I hope you are. I spent 20 years devising 25 years devising the Astroflower. I originally devised it to help, my clients when I was, because I do healing. That's what I do as well. And it was like an application to help people to sort of confront life, so they avoid stress, so they don't have to come and see me so much, and really engage people in life. So I hope it helped you out. Hope you get the best out of these sort of readings, and so forth. It'd be lovely to hear from you, from your experiences. Any form of interaction is absolutely beautiful. It helps us enormously with YouTube, liking, sharing, that sort of thing, commenting. There's loads of links in the description below. There's also our sister channel, which will be taking on a whole new aspect as the studio that we're creating is finished. Once that's finished, then it's going to be very interesting time at Cymatic TV. You'll find it floating around my head at some point. And that's on our sister channel, a channel all about energy. So in the meantime, Cancer, until next week, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.